Today, we will be looking at linear equations. In this first example, we want to find the value of x in this equation. So the first thing you need to do is you want to isolate the x, okay? So we're going to move 7 on the other side of the equal sign. And when you move 7 on the other side of the equal sign, its sign changes. 2x equals to 33. It was positive this side of the equal sign. Now because we are moving it on the other side, it's going to become negative. Minus 7. Alright? Now we can solve this because these two are like terms. 2x equals to 33 minus 7 will give you 26. Still, we need to isolate the x value, x variable. So, we divide both sides by 2. When you divide both sides by 2 on this side, the 2 cancel. Then you have x. 26 divided by 2 will give you 13. So the value of x in this equation is 13. And just to verify that 13 is actually the answer, we can substitute where x is, we put 13. So, 2, 13, where there's x, I put 13 because x is equal to 13, plus 7 equals to 33. Alright? So 13 times 2 will give you 26 because brackets means times. That's why I said 2 times 13 plus 7 equals to 33. 26 plus 7 will give you 33 equals to 33. So if both sides have the same value, that means that my value for x is indeed 13. What I mean is, if this side I had, let's say 10, that means that the value for x is not 13 because both sides have different values. So when both sides give you the same value, that means that, okay, the value for x is indeed 13. These 3 dots just mean therefore x is equal to 13. In the next example, we have 12x minus 48 equals to 7x minus 13. So the very first thing you must do is you want to isolate the unknown variables. You want to keep them on one side of the equal sign and the rest on the other side of the equal sign. So 12x minus 48, these two are not like terms. 12x and 7x, these are like terms. So let's keep them on one side of the equal sign. 48 and 13, those are like terms. So let's move them on the other side of the equal sign, okay? We can decide to move 12 this side or 7 this side, but I'm going to move 7 this side, okay? So it's 12x minus 48. Since we are moving 7x on the other side of the equal sign, its sign changes. It was positive this side, now it's going to become negative this side. Minus 7x equals to negative 13. Alright, are all the like terms, are all the unknown variables on one side of the equal sign? Not yet. We have 12x minus 48 minus 7x. 48 is not a like term with 12x and 7x. They're not the same. So I'm going to move 48 this side, okay? 12x, because we want to isolate the unknown variables on one side of the equal sign. These two have unknown variables, so we're going to isolate them on one side of the equal sign. So 12x minus 7x equals to negative 13. Because we are moving negative 48 this side, its sign is going to change to positive, plus 48. Now we have unknown variables this side and the rest on the other side. Now we can solve this because these two are like terms. 12 minus 7 will give you 5x. We can solve that because they are like terms. We can also solve negative 13 plus 48, which will give you 35. Now, we still have to isolate this variable, so we divide both sides by 5. These two cancel out because they are the same. Then you have x equals to 35 divided by 5 will give you 7. And if you want to verify, just substitute 7 in the original equation. Substitute 7 here and 7 here. And if you get the same answer on both sides of the equal sign, that means that 7 is indeed the value for x. This next equation, we have 3 minus 2 open bracket q minus 2 close bracket equals to 10. When there are brackets involved, the first step is to eliminate the brackets. So brackets usually mean multiplication. So you're going to multiply this negative 2 with everything inside the bracket. Okay, so the 3 comes down as it is. 3 negative 2 times q will give you negative 2q. Negative 2 times negative 2 will give you positive 4 equals to 10. So I have this table over here. Positive times positive will give you positive. Negative times negative will give you a positive. That's why here negative 2 negative times negative 2 negative will give you a positive result, which is positive 4. That's how I got positive 4 here. So please just keep this table in mind, okay? That a negative value times a negative value will give you a positive result. All right, now let's move on. Now this looks like a normal equation. So we want to isolate our unknown value by keeping it on one side of the equal sign and the rest on the other side of the equal sign. Okay, so here negative 2 comes down as it is. Okay, so we're gonna move 3 and 4 the other side of the equal sign, okay, because they don't have unknown values. So we have 10. This is positive 3. If we move it on the other side of the equal sign, it's going to give you negative 3. So it's going to give me negative 3. This is positive 4. So if we move it the other side, it will give us negative 4. Negative 4. All right. So negative 2q comes down as it is. Then we have 10 minus 3 minus 4, which will give you 3. We're not done yet. We're going to divide both sides by negative 2 because we want to isolate the variable. Negative 2, negative 2. These two cancel out. Then you have q equals to 3 divided by negative 2 will give you negative 3 over 2. Okay, if you want to verify if the value for q is correct, you're gonna, where this q, you're gonna replace the q with negative 3 over 2. Let's do that now. So we have 3 minus 2 open bracket, where this q, we're gonna replace it with negative 3 over 2. Negative 3 over 2 minus 2 equals to 10. So 3 minus 2 open bracket 3 over 2 minus 2 will give me 10. And now I know that the value for q is indeed negative 3 over 2 because both sides have the same value. Therefore, q is equal to negative 3 over 2. In the last example, we have 5 minus 4 open bracket 4 minus x close bracket equals to 2x. When there are brackets involved, we want to eliminate the brackets. Brackets mean multiplication. So I'm going to multiply this negative 4 with everything inside the bracket. Okay, so 5 comes down as it is. Negative 4 times 4 will give you negative 16, because a negative value times a positive value will give you a negative result. That's why I got negative 16. Negative 4 times negative x will give you positive 4x, because a negative value times a negative value will give you a positive result. Okay, so 4x equals to 2x. The next step is we want to isolate our unknown values by keeping them on one side of the equal sign and the rest on the other side of the equal sign. Okay, so we have 5 minus 16. These two are the same. 5 minus 16. I will move my 4x on the other side of the equal sign just so that I can isolate them. Okay, 2x. I'm going to move 4x this side. So when you move 4x on the other side, the sign changes from positive to negative 4x. Alright, since these are like terms and these are like terms, we can solve them. 5 minus 16 will give you negative 11. 2 minus 4 will give you negative 2x. Right? We are not done yet. We want to isolate our variable, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2. These two cancel. Then you have x this side. Negative 11 divided by negative 2 will give you 11 over 2, because the negative signs will cancel out. Then you get 11 over 2. You can decide to put that 11, that mixed 11 over 2 into mixed fraction form, and then it will either be 11 over 2 or 5. 1 over 2 is equal to x. So this is the mixed fraction form and this is the fraction form. Okay, so but let's leave it in the improper fraction form. So if you want to verify if the value for x is indeed 11 over 12, you just substitute where there's x, you put 11 over 2. All right, here we have 3 equations that you should try out just for practice.